So, I'm sure you've all seen the show The Fairly Odd Parents. But do you know why the show is the way it is? I'll bet you didn't. Luckily, I happen to have a limited edition of the first season box set, and saw the history for myself. However, it is not what it seems. The intro was very different than how it usually is. In the beginning, the singing is very, demonic, filled with this creepy laughter. And when it gets to the point of Timmy making wishes, it starts to speed up, as if it were a chipmunk version. At the end of the intro, Vicky turns into a bomb, and everyone explodes. You could see body parts flying and Cosmo screaming. I knew I should have stopped right there, but my mind wouldn't let me. So I continued. The beginning of the show started off with the view of Timmy's house, and then his room. Except there was no fishbowl, so this was clearly before Timmy had his fairy godparents. His digital clock then flipped to 7 a.m. with the sound of a siren wailing. Timmy's parents kicked down his bedroom door, his dad now yelling that it was time for his morning beating. Timmy screamed and tried to hide, but his dad grabbed him. The scene fades into black, and Timmy continues to scream. The next scene shows Timmy with a black eye, multiple cuts on his head, and his right arm bent the wrong way. His parents were leaving the house, telling the quote-unquote babysitter, Vicky, to finish the job, for they were too tired to do anything else. Vicky slams the door and pulls out a sledgehammer. Timmy falls over, blood gushing out of his forehead and him vomiting. The scene fades back to black, with Timmy now crying. Timmy wakes up in his room in the next scene, injury-free, with two floating things. They turn into his recognizable fairies and introduce themselves as Cosmo and Wanda, being his fairy godparents. They then say that if a human comes into his room, they'll turn into goldfish and stay in the fishbowl that they had brought with them. They tell Timmy that he can wish for whatever he wants. He first wishes for friends, producing the characters AJ and Chester. He then wishes to figure out why his parents hate him so much. Now, Wanda doesn't want to grant the wish, but Cosmo screams, "Done!" and there's a major poof. A memory now shows of his parents wanting a girl, buying everything in pink and dresses. Disappointed with a boy and too cheap to buy boy things, the parents force Timmy to wear the dresses and the pink hat that he still wears. His parents then think that he isn't straight, which leads to why he is constantly being beaten up, because they worry Timmy won't give them a grandchild. He then learns how his teacher, Mr. Crocker, is a child molester, which is another speculation of why his parents don't think he's straight. His parents then start calling his name. Cosmo and Wanda start to disappear, and Timmy then wakes up in his room. The fishbowl is gone. Timmy then sees that it is 7 a.m. and knows what's about to happen. He then asks where AJ and Chester are. His mom then says, "I don't know anyone named Chester or AJ." Timmy, you've been gone, out of commission for several months now. You just got out of the hospital a week ago.